Tesla has officially unveiled the new project Highland Model 3, and they are claiming that they have changed 50% of the parts in this upgraded Model 3. Tesla officially released photos of this new car, and in this photo, we can see the front of the new Model 3, showcasing its much more aggressive front end and headlights. The second photo gives us a close-up of the new taillights, and here's a side view photo of the car. Despite rumors suggesting matte black wheels, these upgraded sport wheels are definitely silver. Welcome back to Cars in the Future once again. This car has many more improvements that we are going to show in this video, so let's jump in. On 1st September, Tesla officially revealed that they are going to release two new colors, Ultra Red and Stealth Gray. And this car has many changes inside and outside that make it more comfortable and safer. Let's start by looking at the exterior of the car. The headlights have been updated and they're now slimmer and sleeker, with more noticeable LEDs. The front bumper has a cleaner design because they removed the separate fog lamps. This change improves the car's front end, giving it a sportier and more inviting look. They've also introduced new wheels, available in 18-inch and 19-inch sizes. Plus, the new paint colors that Tesla introduced for the Model S and X are now available for this car too, including Ultra Red and Stealth Gray, which resembles Midnight Silver Metallic. Now let's talk about the new tail lights. They're a single piece and you can see them when you open the tailgate. Additionally, there are fog lights on the lower part of the rear bumper. What's interesting here is that they haven't made any changes to the motors or the battery in this car. They've kept them the same as the previous Model 3 because it was already a reliable product. However, they've made some small adjustments to improve the car's aerodynamics, making it the most aerodynamic Tesla available. This leads to a 12% increase in the car's range compared to previous versions. In Europe, the range numbers they provided were 554 kilometers, means 346 miles for the rear-wheel drive version. It's important to note that these numbers are based on the WLTP testing standard, not the EPA standard used in the United States. If we loosely convert these numbers to EPA standards, it could mean that the rear-wheel drive standard range Model 3 now has over 300 miles of range. For the dual-motor version, they claim a range of 423 miles on WLTP. When roughly converted to EPA standards, this could mean approximately 375 miles of range for the dual-motor Model 3. This is quite impressive, especially considering that they achieved this range increase without changing the battery. They've improved efficiency, which means you get more range without needing a larger battery, making the car more cost-effective. The earlier leaked images of this car have given us a really accurate idea of how it's going to look on the outside. We've already seen pictures of the taillights and the front of the car, and they pretty much match our expectations. However, what the leaks didn't reveal was the interior. Tesla has been very secretive about it, and they've done a great job keeping it under wraps. But now, we're finally getting to see the inside of the car. In terms of the interior, Tesla has focused on reducing noise. They've chosen materials that help keep the cabin quiet. This includes using acoustic glass for all the windows, including the rear ones and the back window, to keep unwanted noise out. The new tires were made specifically for this car to reduce road noise, and all of that leads to a 30% reduction in wind and ambient noise. On top of that, they say there's a 25% improvement in impact noises, which is things like noises from the suspension, and a 20% improvement for road noise. If you've been in an older Model 3, there's definitely a lot of noise in that car, and this should be a huge improvement over that. Now it should be a really luxurious feeling cabin, which is probably Tesla's ultimate goal here. We can see that with other things like the entirely new center console that's split into two parts, and the quality of materials just looks generally better inside. And on that center console in particular, the door panels are also raised, and they look to be taking some inspiration from the Cybertruck, and there are LED lights all over this car. On the dash up front, on all the door panels, and more. Up front, there's that standard wireless charger we're used to seeing, but then the USB port in the center console can reportedly charge up to 65 watts, which means you can even charge a laptop. That's not something we're used to seeing in an electric car. Now, look at its ventilated seats. They've made a cool improvement. All Model 3 now come with perforated seats, and the front two seats are special because they can both be heated and ventilated. So when it's chilly outside, you can warm them up, and on a hot day, you won't end up with a sweaty back. The dashboard in the new Model 3 has been given a fresh look. It's got a new design, but the big center screen we're used to is still there. It seems like they've made some upgrades to it, possibly taking inspiration from the Cybertruck's sturdy screen. There's a neat LED strip at the top of the dashboard that adds a stylish touch, and it follows the design theme of the LED bar throughout the car. Interestingly, you can customize this strip on the dashboard, though we'll have to wait and see what options become available when the car goes on sale. And there is the turn of the steering wheel, which could be a make-or-break feature for some people interested in this car. This new Model 3 borrowed some design elements from the Model S and X, but there's one significant improvement. They brought back a regular horn. In the Model S and X, they switched to a touch-sensitive horn button, which I thought was a pretty bad design choice. But on this new Model 3 steering wheel, they've ditched that idea. Instead, they've added touch-sensitive buttons for things like the turn signals and other controls you typically find on stocks. Plus, there's an extra button for video that lets you access the rear cameras instead of honking the horn. It's great to see a traditional horn back in action on the Model 3. The rear of this car draws inspiration from the updated Model S and X. There's a center screen and a separate screen for rear passengers, and they can control their climate and heated seats. Plus, there are two USB-C ports for their devices. So, even in a reasonably priced Model 3, passengers in the back can enjoy entertainment. The rear seats have been improved for comfort, with a slight recline. These changes make the car more appealing to everyday consumers. Moving to the front screen, it may look similar, but is now brighter and more responsive. The ventilation system is called Ventilation 2.0, and it can be adjusted or turned off entirely for the passenger's comfort. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi have been enhanced, with better recognition for the phone key. The stereo system now boasts more bass and power with 17 speakers instead of the previous 14. Now let's talk about its availability and price. We expect that if it's being produced at that factory, people in China will likely receive their deliveries quite soon, possibly even before October. And the price is not officially announced, so all are rumors. One rumor is that the base price of the 2024 Model 3 Highland could be as low as $42,000. What do you think about these changes? Are they enough to make you consider buying this new Model 3? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to our channel to watch more updates on cars.